And today's episode of Rants of Izzo Show is brought to you by FlexYourFeminine.com. I don't really need to talk about it because we have the owner here sitting in with us today because it's Friday. That's it. FlexYourFeminine.com, Spreely.com, Burn Pit Podcast, Report at Opine, Shannon Joy Show, Pete Santilli, a ton more. It's all about free speech, and if you can't stand that, I don't know what to tell you. There's something wrong with you in the head. Let's have a show.
Prepare yourself.
The opinions of the host and guests on the show are exclusively just that, opinions. That means that they shouldn't be the cause of your state of being offended. Why does everybody get so butthurt?
Okay, let's go.
Ready, go!
Sit down, shut up, and pay attention.
Damn!
This is the Rants of Izzo Show with your host, Dominic Izzo, from porn to politics. We touch every third rail we can find. You might want to put your headphones on so your mom can't hear this. It's been called the most entertaining 60 minutes on the internet, and it starts now. Let's do this.
All right, glorious happy Friday, everyone here on the Rants of Izzo Show here, wherever you're consuming us. Make sure you spread the show. You click a link, and you randomly send it to people and say, watch this. This guy's going to piss you off. I don't care what you do. Share the show. Help us grow. For those of you out there we love you. Or you're indisposed without you. Representative Anna Paulina Luna. She's a Republican from Florida. She's the head of the new congressional task force aimed at exposing, quote, federal secrets. She said Tuesday that she believes, quote, there were two shooters who were involved in the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The task force, which will also probe pedophile Jeffrey Epstein's client list, intends to build on the Trump administration's effort to declassify records related to the assassinations of JFK, his brother, Senator Bobby Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, a civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and will start, quote, a thorough investigation of JFK, his November 1963 shooting and death in Dallas, Texas. Quote, I'd love to read this quote if this ad wasn't in my way. Based on what I've seen so far, the initial hearing was actually held here in Congress, was actually faulty on the single bullet theory, Luna said during a Capitol Hill press conference referring to the Warren Commission. She added, I believe there were two shooters. The Warren Commission, a nearly 9-year-long, that's incorrect. The Warren Commission, a nearly year-long government probe into the JFK assassination, determined that Kennedy was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald, who acted alone. However, the House Select Committee on Assassinations concluded in its final report in 1979 that Kennedy was, quote, he was probably assassinated as a result of a conspiracy. There have been conflicting evidence, Luna said, of the various probes into the JFK assassinations, and I think even the FBI at the time reported some anomalies in the initial autopsy at Bethesda, I think it was a naval station in Maryland. All of these, though, seem to have been rinsed and repeated into the media to push a certain narrative that we don't agree with, the Congresswoman argued, noting that she hopes that the new task force can, quote, put to bed some of the theories that have been out there about the JFK assassination with, quote, the full truth. And the full truth starts with transparency, Luna said. The bipartisan task force plans to bring in some of the, quote, attending physicians at the initial assassination to provide testimony, as well as people who sat on various commissions investigating the assassination. The Florida Republican also hosted a task force which will operate under the House Oversight Committee. Fucking joke. Will be allowed to review the thousands of pages of JFK assassination files before they are released to the public. President Trump ordered the declassification and release of long secret files of the assassinations on JFK, RFK, and King last month. The FBI alone unearthed about 14 1,000 pages worth of material related to JFK's assassination since Trump's executive order. Luna said the task force will also investigate unidentified aerial phenomena, identified submerged objects, and the client list of dead sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the origins of COVID-19, and the government files related to the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Quote, we will work alongside President Trump and his cabinet members to deliver the truth to the American people, Luna said. From this moment forward, we will restore trust through transparency. What say you?
A lot of words. Great start. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I know I'm so much fun.
I mean,
we've had people calling for this for years. So I think that there's appears from the outside looking in, there appears to be some progress being made in the way that the media, quote unquote, mainstream has picked up on reporting on this because of the executive orders, but remains to be seen. And are they going to release the truth transparently without redaction? That's what I'm waiting for.
Was this ever an interest of yours? Like, I mean, you're considerably younger than me. Were you like, I remember when JFK came out, the Oliver Stone film, and I'm a big Kevin Costner fan. He did a great job in that. And I actually rewatched it last year, not realizing how, like, they made, Jim Garrison, I think is who he played. They made him out to be like some insane conspiracy theorist. And I think, I'm paraphrasing, I think that Garrison was only an attorney general of a state, and it blew me away how he was able to federally investigate this and whatnot. And Stone, he's got some good films. They're out there. They're a little bit out there. I think he's very intelligent. But man, when you saw the magic bullet theory, which then Seinfeld repeated, the magic loogie theory, it kind of really blew me away. And the reasons being for me was there's a guy up in our area, in the Round Lake area in Illinois, and I can't remember his name. I actually have to ask an old cop who told me about this. The rumor is that in like the Round Lake Beach or Round Lake Police Department, one of the two, during that time, they had the rifle that was used in the assassination in Kennedy in their evidence locker. This guy claims there's interviews of him on YouTube too. He says, no, I was involved in the shooting, and they made him seem like a lunatic. But for me, this is fascinating as shit. Did you have any interest in this at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've watched a few conspiracy theory documentaries on it. It's very interesting.
All right. So we'll now pose the question, your government lied to you. We had this 2 years ago, and Tucker Carlson said that he had inside information from somebody. It was Tucker Carlson, for the love of God, on Fox News, talking about the fact that the CIA was involved.
We've had Kash Patel talking about it too. So I mean, it's the government the government has lied to us about everything for decades, and I'm not talking about the last 2 decades. Like they only profit, they only maintain control when they lie to us. So go way back. But if we're just talking about the Kennedy era, I would encourage you all that if you have not really had any interest in the Kennedy era, or if when I was younger, I was more interested in Jackie than I was in the president. But like if you have not done a little bit of research, because it really doesn't require much digging to come across the rabbit hole of conspiracy theories with the Kennedy assassination, there's a couple of rather interesting shorter documentaries on Amazon Prime for free that you can watch. And it's not that I necessarily agree with everything that they say, but they are asking good questions. And that's all that you really need to start with to just begin to unravel the fog that the Matrix has had you under around any topic, let alone the Kennedy topic. So, yeah. But why, like who benefited from him being assassinated? These are the kinds of questions that really should be asked. And this is why the crumbs that have been leaked to the public have always had massive redactions. Who profited off of the cover up, if there was a cover up? Who profited off of the assassination?
Well,
everything is always characterized as a lone wolf operating because he's crazy and a conspiracy theorist. It's the same thing with the school mass shootings, right? It's always the same note played over and over and over again. And I think we're finally at the point in the collective consciousness where, it's like if the same note on the piano was being played over and over and over again constantly, you would lose your mind and you would get angry and you would like smash the piano. That's where we're at right now. I think with the collective consciousness is like the pattern, the redundancy is so irritating to our souls that we're screaming out for the truth and doing the footwork to find the truth for ourselves. Because we're not going to just blindly trust whatever they come out with when they come out with it because Trump asked nicely. We have our own research. We have our own flash drives and lock boxes, and everything's going to be sifted through what we've already uncovered.
Dude, these are crumbs, and these are number one. Here's the hard time. I'm an adult, man. If you tell me, I don't know, I smoke cigars, and we know, well, at least we know that with big tobacco, with the cigarette companies, that what they prove in the 80s that smoking mutates the gene that gives people cancer. Well, people could still smoke. They have that choice. I think and people thought, I don't believe for once, well, maybe it did. I always thought that like cigarette sales would be hurting after that. And I lived through the bar era where we used to be able to smoke in bars. I never smoked, but I always worked a smoking section. You made infinitely more money. People are clamoring to get in that. I don't know if telling people the truth, they give a shit. We have labels on the liquor bottles that drinking may cause complications during pregnancy to women, blah, blah. Nobody gives a shit. Alcohol sales are through the roof. When you tell the truth, I don't think the people care. I really don't. Now, in this circumstance, here's the problem. Now, number one, I'm going to say this. According Anna Paulina Meyerhoff was born in 1989 to George Meyerhoff and Monica Todd. She an elementary school teacher and stay-at-home mother in Santa Ana, California. She was raised as a Messianic Jew by her father. Are those the ones who believe in Christ?
Mm-hmm.
But she's still part of that tribe. So number one, if we're going down that looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, I don't trust anybody. That's just this. But this is my thought, because we've seen this a million times. We don't do anything. This, for entertainment purposes only, this is what I think should happen. If there is definitive proof, I mean, like you've got the unredacted material comes out that says the government had full knowledge of JFK. There was two assassins. Government knew about it. CIA was involved. That's tier one. Right? Tier one comes out. I think people need to take to the streets. Tier two is, hey, yeah, remember Pearl Harbor? Yeah, dude, we knew about it. We knew. That's tier two. Now there should be no peaceful protests. We should be shitting in the street and bricking up some windows and stuff like that. Tier three is 9/11. Yeah, hey, yeah, that was an inside job. Now, Izzo's world is everyone puts aside their partisan politics. They realize how stupid they are for hating you. Wait, you're a liberal and you believe in multiple genders and you believe Black Lives Matter and all this, and I've lived next door to you forever, and I have no clue how your beliefs have ever affected my life outside of social media telling me that they should. How about we put aside this thing and then we burn the motherfucker to the ground? I think Washington, D.C. should be utterly fucking torched. I mean, now we're getting out these Doge things. It's a matter of time until they show how someone's net worth can be $2, $3, $4, $10 million when they only make $100,000 a year.
Doge is just the tip, or the USAID is just the tip of the spear.
Yeah, but that's my point. It's just the tip. Everything that should happen never will, because you're going to get people who still.
Well, if you keep prophesying it, then congratulations.
I'm telling you, this is why it's not.
Get exactly what you prophesy.
I'll tell you why it's not going to happen. Because there are that Trump was put there for a reason. He is the buffer. As long as he is in there, no one will act. Legitimately speaking, if you find out that your nation, your own government, they want you to pay your taxes. They'll throw you in jail if you don't do X, Y, Z. They authorize their police to shoot and kill you if you don't use a turn signal on a traffic stop. But they finally admit, yeah, we killed a beloved sitting president, and we just go, oh, you express the outrage online and Trump will take care of this. We deserve everything we get because we won't do anything.
So the black pill that I know you've swallowed,
dude, it is
especially from
here. I've got a visual representation. It's actually a bench block, but this is the black pill I've taken. Continue.
It's a good block.
Oh yeah, I don't use it. I need to.
The black pill is not biblical, Dominic. So I just want to caution you.
All right.
It's not. Is anything that you just said, as much as I resonate and understand where you're coming from, because I share the same exact frustrations. The reality is that if we meditate on, we're commanded to meditate on things that are what? Good, just, pure, lovely, things that align with his kingdom. We are commanded to bring kingdom down, not hell up. So if we keep talking like this is prophecy. Like, we will get exactly what we want, even if we say we don't want it. Like, in the energetic spiritual realm, you can't serve two masters. You can't be confused. So do we want the kingdom of heaven to come to earth as it is foretold in scripture? Or do we want the same thing on a different day that we've noticed the pattern, and it is very dark, and we can see the pattern, and that's important. But in the end, we know who wins, and what are we going to choose to put our focus on? And if you don't share, those of you who are listening, I'm not trying to be a Bible thumper and shove things down your throat, but look at the quality of your life, the energetic frequency, the vibration of how you're living in fear. This whole black pill perspective is very, very fear-based, and it's very, very low vibration. So you are creating, when you subscribe to these, when you align yourself to resonate with this level of low vibration, you are giving the enemy exactly what they want. And that is how we will continue to manifest exactly what you're expressing, Dominic: inaction and passivity, no justice, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, trust me, I'd love to act, but you know what's going to happen? I mean, I'd have to be okay with this. And right now I'm not. I'm actually enjoying life. It's kind of fucking great. I don't want to be the first one. I don't want to be the head of the spear, because I'll be the one that looks like, a big piece of Swiss cheese. Harumph, we got to storm the castle, because that's all that's left. And I don't have the mental fortitude to do anything else outside of that. I'm not tactical, anything other than, hand smash. I don't know. I'm not political. It sucks, dude. And it is. The black pill, which recently, it is my head, and I've said this numerous times, for anybody who ever wants to know what my head is like, it references movies and cartoons all the time. If you want to know what living inside of my head is like when it comes to being black pilled, it is Tom at the end.
We repeat, the white mouse will not explode.
And you got Tom. Don't you believe it? That's me. That's my head. Anybody my age knows exactly what I'm talking about. The white mouse blew the fuck up. And there's me. You don't even get that reference, do you?
No, I do.
Oh, you really? Okay, go. That was a creepy moment in television history for me as a kid.
Yes,
but the black pills, it sucks, dude. It absolutely sucks, especially when you see the lack of outrage. And it is. It blows me away. I don't know if it would be called cognitive dissonance when you see these people who they're okay with your government officials being worth, $20 million on on a $100,000 salary a year. And they're like, no, we don't need to know where that's coming from because we don't want Elon Musk probing into your $60,000 a year salary. Fucking, it's how we are dumb people. And I do not think that it will make any difference releasing what happened to Kennedy because no one will care. They will not care. The Epstein list.
Certain people, I agree with you for a certain percentage of the population. There are people who are too stupid. There are people who are dumb. There are people who have fully swallowed their cognitive dissonance and they would rather stick their heads in the sands. And there is no hope for a certain percentage of humanity in that case. I do not believe that that is the majority of humanity at all. It can't be because I know how the story ends.
Yeah, but that's the last moment, man. Think about right now. Here's the struggle I have on a daily basis, and for anyone who doesn't know, we talk a lot about faith on this fucking program. And the issue is Dad is not home. Dad isn't home. So if I look at my brothers and sisters, I'm like, fuck you, dude. You clean that shit up. You spilt the milk, you clean it up. Dad comes home, yeah. And then it's like, fuck, man. Do me a favor, clean it up. You got it, man. Clean it up right now. Dad isn't home. So right now we're living in that current state of I hate you. You're my sibling. I hate you. There are so many times I'm like, man, and I think about it. I do. I actively pray for my own sanity and my enemies all the time. And I role play in my head. All right, here's your biggest number one hated person on the planet. You hate this man. You have seething hatred, contempt. Can you picture, like, this is heaven. And I do this to find out my level of how tired and over I am of this world. I'm not interested in like going up to a land where all the buildings are paved with gold and everyone walks around in their best, perfect human bodies. And I don't know, you go fishing, you catch the biggest muskie ever, every single cast. I don't know what it is, right? I am at the point where I'm like, yeah, hey, hi, Dominic. Oh yeah, great. Good to see you up here. You finally made it. Okay. Hey, listen, your assignment, you are a busboy at the table of the kingdom of heaven for eternity. Okay. No, you got to get the glasses, refill the water, you clean off the plates. I'm good with that, dude. I got a purpose. Yeah. And you're going to serve this shithead that you can't stand for the rest of your life. Okay. I'm good with it. I literally think about that shit. Like, man, I would be completely fine with that if it meant that when you go to heaven, it's like all that, like it says, like, I'm paraphrasing what they're talking about heaven, but it's not that I don't think we don't remember what happened on earth, but our memories do not affect us with like grudge holding, anger, right, shit like that. So I would be like, oh, as long as I don't have these feelings of being black pilled, I don't care if you told me I had to snake all the fucking Johns and toilets in heaven and like clean out all the fucking tampons and shit. And I'd be like, dude, praise God, man, 24/7 because I don't need sleep. I don't care. So the black pill is a shitty place to be, but I'm sure it's just a stage in life. I'm going to be 50 in, I think, like 28 days because we're in February's 28 days. And I'm maybe by 55, I'll be like, peace, love, and hair grease. Life is amazing. Touch my monkey. I don't fucking know, dude. But right now, I'm like, y'all suck out there. You shit hate each other. You're not going to do anything. And fucking whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, the answer to the black pill is not this gaslighting yourself into some spiritual, absolutely ridiculous positivity, love and light, bullshit. It should be a very realistic, just coming back to the gravity point.
I think that this, how it says we're called to suffer? I legitimately think this is the suffering that we're called to. Like, I used to think all the time as a kid, especially when you do like Bible study and crap in grammar school, it's like, we're called to suffer. I used to think, okay, I'm going to be whipped, just like him, and tortured, and, fingernails pulled out by pliers and shit. And I'm like, no, man, this is pretty suffering on a daily basis. Everything you said before when it came down to black pill, it 100% stresses out your immune system, your stress levels, We get sick. I mean, I've looked at myself in the mirror compared to 2020, and I'm like, holy shit. How the fuck did I age this fast? It's like I had gray hair in my head, and I had dark in my beard, and I'm all white now. It's like, this is insane. It's insane. So yeah, I think it's literally killing us. Literally killing. I think black pill probably causes more death and cancer.
Yeah. Well, how many times in scripture are we commanded to not fear?
365.
Yet when we are subscribing to these, whether it's called whether we're calling it black pill or it's an area of fear in our life that we are stressing about, we're worrying about, we're having anxiety about, we're living in the future, but in a very negative connotation, just scared of everything. There's a demon around every corner. There's a boogeyman under the bed, this is absolutely adjusting the vibration of our cells. And this is just natural law. So we're commanded over and over and over again in scripture to not fear. And yet this is what we, in our own free will, choose to subscribe to and swallow hook, line, and sinker. And it's a constant battle. That's the suffering. That's the spiritual warfare of you have to keep yourself. There's two ditches on the side of the straight and narrow. One ditch is legalism and the other ditch is lawlessness. So you can't swing from one pendulum, one side to the other. It's a tightrope that takes a lot of faith and a lot of effort to walk out without falling into one of the two ditches on either side.
Kind of parallel. You just sent this video because when you start diving into quantum and realize you've been getting it all wrong, we are light, we are vibration, we are frequency. Everything you just said is about frequency because you can either put your frequency at a low vibration or high vibration. Did you know scientists are researching how to extinguish fire with sound? Sound waves at a certain frequency can disrupt the combustion process, literally shifting energy and putting out flames. Now, think about this. You are energy. Every cell in your body vibrates at a frequency. Just like sound can shift fire, it can shift you, bringing balance, clearing stuck energy, and restoring harmony. This is the foundation of healing, and it's exactly what the AO scan taps into. By using precise frequencies, we can realign the body's energy, promote healing, and bring back the system of resonance into you. I want to play this. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this together as we do this. All right. Do you want to set this up at all? How did you find this?
Just honestly, I was just scrolling. I've seen it before, but it's just a super quick clip.
Oh,
since we were talking about the California fires a couple weeks ago, this would have come in handy. Since we didn't have water.
I'm responding to your message. All right, here we go.
Thank you.
All right, there's a fire in a saucepan. Oh. George Mason University has produced a video of engineers, students demonstrating a device that puts out fire with nothing but sound.
I mean, looks like the fire was out to me.
That's absolutely out. My question is, you ever stand by a real big bass speaker and get, I don't know if it disrupts the air that does that, but I don't know. Now,
engineering is all about finding a way to make the impossible possible. So that's what we did.
The idea is similar to blowing out a candle with waves. Inventors first thought 5 frequency sound base would work.
I see this device being applied to a lot of things. First off, I think in the kitchen, it could be on top of a stovetop.
I don't doubt any of this stuff. I mean, if you look at the simple nature of music, it's a state changer.
Yeah.
Music, literally, I mean, you go to the gym, I'm not listening to Vivaldi, Rachmaninoff. I mean, if I'm going to go classical, it's
Although
Karl Orff.
it would be interesting if you did, though, because there has been research done. I was just looking at something about this yesterday. There has been research done on not even music specifically, but the internal dialogue that we have with ourselves during performance. So they tested athletes. So these are well-trained people, okay? They tested athletes and had them, the first test, motivate themselves through anger and hate and thinking about, what they were going to accomplish by like proving themselves, overcoming the guy, right? Like the whole competitive comparison trap that a lot of people use. I was definitely there. Like after my divorce, I think I've told you about, after my divorce, I went into a season of like hyper masculine hustle, and I was competing in bodybuilding, and every workout was fueled by copious amounts of pre-workout, as well as rage music, as well as just anger at men, anger at God, anger at myself for like not trusting myself, all this kind of stuff. So I resonated with that. And they tested, right? Like I think it was endurance running, like how fast can you sprint this amount? What's your performance at? And they tested really well. They had great output. Then the next test was all the exact opposite. So we've talked about, the water test where you're speaking curses over the water versus blessings. And so this was kind of similar, where they were practically speaking curses and trying to motivate, spur themselves forward through hate and fear and lower vibration things. And then the second test was all the antithesis of that, the exact opposite statements. They were focused on doing this for their family, what it was going to accomplish, yada, yada, yada. And they tested night and day better through the positive side of things than they did through the curses. So it's not that the curses don't work, because obviously they performed well, right? But you lose something, you kill something about your soul at a vibrational level with that you won't get back, compared to what's available to us, the capacity that we have with the light, the polarity, law of polarity, light and darkness.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. I mean, it's when you're angry and you're full of hatred, it's very inner and introspective. And I never no, it's Eddie Hall, strongman who deadlifted 1,000 pounds. It was hilarious when I actually heard him, because he did an interview finally telling people what his state change was to pick up that the bar with 1,000 pounds on it. He said he pictures his kids under a car, and he said he couldn't talk about it because that kind of takes the power out of it. And I learned that state change through visualization. And I always said, whenever I went for a heavy movement and I'm nowhere near his caliber of fucking, whatever, I would.
He's not human, I'm convinced.
Oh, yeah, him and all three of those guys.
Insane amounts
and
of
fucking Brian. But I used to think of, I used to have to, being angry, like I never got good. I never understood the people like, I broke up, so I went to the gym. So now you're going to associate the success in the gym with your ex. And then what happens the day that you're over her? Now, does your bench press numbers go? So that never worked for me. But I'm like, okay, what gives me chills? And, well, the first thing I always thought was like the crucifixion. I'm like, man, 6 hours on the cross, that used to motivate the shit out of me. I could do 5 seconds worth of reps here. That was a big, huge motivator. But the one that gave me like the biggest like state change that mixed almost rage but it wasn't for me, was I thought, all right, what would it sound like to hear the screaming of my sister, who's so fucking independent? She could take care of her own shit. Like, how would she sound screaming my name if her daughter, my niece, was kidnapped, knowing she couldn't? And I would paint this whole vivid fucking picture in my head. She can't take care of her own problems. She's screaming for my help. And I'm like, and that would put me in a massive state change to go in it. But the negative side, I would try that with negative. No, that hate, it's so weird. A bench press movement is going forward. Hatred was always pulling back. Was always like it's within. So that for me, that releasing of hatred at the gym, like you're so much more free to get more, like send your body more information. So that makes complete sense to me what you just said.
So fascinating.
Oh, it's insane. It's you're literally, hate training to me is like trying to drive with the parking brake on. You could feel the engine revving, but you're not going anywhere, man. Not at all.
There's a lot of power there, but it's doing a lot of damage in the process. You're damaging yourself.
Speaking of doing damage in the process, tell everybody about Flex Your Feminine.
Since we're talking about fitness, Flex Your Feminine is my women's wellness ministry for the gals. Okay. The fitness hustle matrix and the dieting matrix has really put us at odds with our own biology and the way that God created your body. So Flex Your Feminine is all about returning to your birthright of freedom and taking personal responsibility, understanding the system of your body, the way that God created it, and allying with her to receive the results in beauty and strength and health that you were created for, instead of this whole hustle and hate and, having the wrong things pushing you forward. We're being pulled by our design instead. So if you have just burnt yourself out with fitness and dieting advice and influencer workouts and stuff over the years, and you're looking for a different way forward and ready to take responsibility for that area of your life, then check out flexyourfeminine.com.
You have an app too, which is available. You go to flexyourfeminine.com. We're looking at it right now. This is the Flex Your Feminine app for your smartphone. Do that. What you'll experience, escape the echo chamber of just eat less and move more, abusive cookie cutter hustle and fitness diet programs. Embrace the unapologetic truth behind biological natural law as the foundation for lasting feminine transformation. Join a diverse community of like-minded women united in their shared and uniquely feminine female experiences as we trust the process and celebrate each other, and break up with the harmful habits of generational curses haunting your progress, and fall in love with the aligned actions and beliefs that honor your sacred cyclical nature. FlexYourFeminine.com. That's who today's show is brought to you by.
Code IZZO will save you money.
There you go. Look at that. It's Valentine's Day.
It
February
is.
14th. I don't know where my one red tie is. I thought it would have worn today. Valentine's Day has Christian Roman. Well, before I actually read this, do you know what was Valentine's Day explained to you as a kid? Like, what
It
story
wasn't
did you
really
hear?
explained to me as a kid. Valentine's Day was just sort of, it was always presented as a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Capitalistic consumerism opportunity.
Sure.
So that's kind of the perspective that I adopted. My mom and dad were cute, and they did little things like gave my sister and I chocolates, and my dad would give my mom flowers, but we never made it this huge thing. So
Okay. I mean, it is what it is.
that's how I was
we
raised.
were always told it was some monk who trade places with somebody. Valentine's Day is a
Saint Valentine.
Yeah. Has a Christian Roman folk origins, thanks to the Italians. Here you go. We got Valentine's Day. It's celebrated on February 14th, has become a global celebration of love and romance. Except for you single fuckers out there who are going to suffer today like every other day of the week. This holiday honors Saint Valentine, a martyr who defied Roman law by performing secret marriages. The Galician sacramentary of 8th century text recorded the celebration of the feast of St. Valentine on February 14th. The holiday may be linked to Roman fertility festival Lupercalia. Hang on, let me look what that is really fast. We gotta check what this one is then, man. Roman orgy? Yes, please. It's that Lupercalia, Lupercalia, also known as Lupercal, was a pastoral festival of ancient Rome observed annually on February 15th to purify the city, promoting health and fertility. Okay, so no Roman orgy. The Romans reinterpreted the Greek god of Eros as Cupid, the Roman god of desire. The holiday became associated with romantic love on the 14th and 15th centuries. An early tradition says St. Valentine restored sight to the blind daughter of his jailer. I never heard about that one. A legend says an imprisoned St. Valentine sent a letter to a young girl, signed it from your Valentine. Modern celebrations. By the 19th century, Valentine's Day became increasingly commercialized with mass product greeting cards. Of course, because we're all whores. Chocolate became more available to everyday people in the 1840s. Richard Cadbury is widely believed to have produced the first heart-shaped box of chocolates. There you go. There. Oh, hang on. We had the dark origins of Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is a time to celebrate love and romance and kissy face fealty, but the origins of this festival and candy of Cupids are actually dark, bloodied, and a bit muddled. Though no one has pinpointed the exact origin of the holiday, one place to be sure is ancient Rome. Okay, we talked about this. Is there anything really?
I'm trying to find something I saved on Valentine's Day. Now I'm not sure I did it right.
From February 13th to 15th, the Romans celebrated the Feast of Lupercata, whatever it was. The men sacrificed a goat and a dog, then whipped women with the hides of the animals they had just slain. Fuck yeah, man. BDSM on holiday here. The Roman antics were drunk. They were naked. Noah Linsky, now a religious studies professor at Yale, told NPR in 2011, the young women would line up for the men to hit them willingly. Willingly. Choke me, daddy. Let me do this the right way with that. Holy shit. I kept... The young women would line up for men to hit them, said Linsky. They believed it would make them fertile. The brutal fete included matchmaking lottery in which young men drew names of women from a jar. The couple would then be coupled for the duration of the festival or longer if the match was right. The ancient so there was an orgy.
It was basically a kink.
It was good. The ancient Romans may also have been responsible for the name of our modern day love. Emperor Claudius II, educated two men, both named Valentine, on February 14th of the different years in the 3rd century. Their martyrdom was honored by the Catholic Church, in which we celebrate Valentine's Day. So go out there, go have some anonymous sex on Valentine's Day. Get ready to pay child support. You guys are fucking dumb. Yeah.
I think this is it.
Okay. It is. I got to do this.
But you were talking about some of this already.
Well, I got to do this shameless plug. It's Rachel's birthday today.
It is. Happy birthday.
I know. Yeah. Valentine's Day. It's not Valentine's Day. It's Rachel's birthday. Yeah.
Rachel's birthday. That's how I feel about June. It's not Pride Month. It's Kale's birthday month.
Yeah. February 14th. Did you find something?
So in 469, Pope Gelasius declared February 14th a holy day in honor of Valentinus instead of the pagan god Lupercus, which is where it originated. He also adapted some of the pagan celebrations of love to reflect Christian beliefs. Sounds familiar?
Yeah, that's what they did. That's all that.
That's all they do. They just adapt these pagan beliefs.
Anybody who wonders, like Christianity, the reason that we think that God is a man with a white beard is because they Zeus. So you have to look at it back then, thousands or hundreds of thousands, whatever, thousands of years ago, is you have these sculptors and architects and painters in Greece who make their living on, like, here's a statue of Eros and Cupid, or Venus and Eros. So Venus was the goddess and her son was Cupid. Well, now all of a sudden they're going to find themselves out of a job. Oh shit, what do we do? Well, I'm good at this. I'm just going to change the name. It's no longer Venus and Cupid. It's the Virgin Mary and the child.
Right.
Oh, look, here's God, white bearded man. Well, that's Zeus. Well, we got to change him to God right there. All that shit was just I guess Christmas, December 25th, was the festival of the sun, S-U-N.
Correct.
Yeah, pagan holiday.
Solstice. It's winter solstice. They worshipped the sun as the longest day of the year, quote unquote.
Easter. I think Easter was a Hindu holiday.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm eating my teeth.
The goddess Ishtar. It's a fertility.
Ah.
The cult fertility ritual is what Easter actually comes from. The Catholic Church, again, adopted it, trying to make nice and convert pagans. So they assigned the resurrection, Good Friday and the resurrection, to that weekend. But, the whole painting of Easter eggs and stuff like that, it's all a fertility ritual for the goddess
Eggs?
Ishtar.
Oh, because women have eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I am not a fan of the Cadbury eggs. I'll have one. But those mini eggs, they are insanely good. Insanely good. Yeah, they're these Cadbury mini eggs, and it's just solid chocolate, milk chocolate. It's a gourmet M&M. Fucking incredible. Fucking incredible.
I haven't had those. I used to love the Cadbury eggs when I was a kid. That was, my grandma would put them in my basket.
The Cadbury
That
egg.
was all I wanted was whatever, like she hid the Cadbury egg. It was one of the bigger ones,
Yep.
That was all I wanted out of the entire Easter candy basket.
Peeps.
Was my Cadbury egg.
Peeps can go to hell. Peeps are fucking disgusting.
I don't get it.
I can't stand marshmallow. I just can't do it. I can't. Two things I can't do: marshmallow and cotton candy. Can't do them. Cannot do them, dude. Fuck, makes my skin crawl and my teeth curl. An Ohio Democrat, because leave it to women. A new bill in Ohio would make it okay, I want to preface this.
Oh no.
Based on the first sentence, I'm not joking on this. These people, this woman should be forcibly removed from office. She's mentally unhealthy. People need to go in her office, grab her by the back of the fucking head, near the neck, by the shirt, and kick her out and say, you're done. You're done. Because this is literally a waste of taxpayer time and money, and you guys in Ohio are paying for it. A new bill in Ohio would make it a crime for men to ejaculate without intending to have a baby. Quote, you don't get pregnant on your own, Representative Anita Somani, a Democrat from Dublin, said. In between performing male surgeries as an multiple surgeries as an OBGYN, the doctor, who's a Democrat, explained she wants to start regulating men's reproductive care. Now, I think she's doing this as parody because of which I said I'm fine. I think that every man, by the time he turns 12 or 13, should, at the government dime, be given a vasectomy so that you can spill all that seed you want. You're never going to get a woman pregnant. You want to reproduce?
I'm not paying for that shit.
Oh.
The government doesn't have its own money, Dominic.
I'm going to tell you flat out, listen, here's my solution. When you want to sit there and have it reversed because you want to have kids, you got to prove that you have a stable income. You got to prove you're married. You got to prove that you're financially and able to take care of it. If you're going to penalize someone for unwanted pregnancies, why not penalize the person who's also responsible for the pregnancy, she said. She introduced legislation that would make a felony for men to discharge semen without the intent to fertilize. Tristan Rader, a Democrat from Lakewood, joined forces to propose the bill nicknamed Conception Begins at Erection Act. Some of their exceptions, such as when protection contraceptives were used during sex, it would also apply to individuals. It also wouldn't apply when individuals are masturbating, donating sperm, or if the intercourse takes place between the members of the LGBTQ community and thus doesn't produce ova. So what would this apply is to sex without a condom is actually wanting to procreate in the process. This would be a felony that would cost violators thousands of dollars, the max of $10,000 per discharge. It's beyond ridiculous what Republicans are doing. It's a mockery. I get it. I'm gonna backtrack my statement here for a second. I think they should do that. I think they should go through it. This way now, anytime a woman gets an abortion, she's financially obligated at the slightest to repay a man for his loss of damages.
How would they enforce that?
Same fucking way they're going to enforce this, man. I don't know. Figure you have to have a camera in every room now when you're going to be, smooching body parts and shit. Might as well go to this next. I don't have the answers. I just create the problems with the conversation.
I just don't want
I'm
the
a
government.
shit stirrer.
Can we just fucking have anarchy at this point?
Dude,
why is the government?
Thank you.
Why are we putting the government literally into everything? This is her answer. This is her best fix for whatever she's trying to fix. The abortion argument isn't going her way right now. So her fix is to mutilate little boys instead of teaching them personal responsibility. Like this is no different than trying to regulate guns. We already have a Second Amendment. Shit people with demonic agendas abuse the Second Amendment, and criminals do not follow the laws anyway. So the idea that, oh, we're just going to make more laws for the criminals to not follow, the logic is so flawed. This is what I mean by some people are too stupid, and they really shouldn't be in positions where they're collecting a dime or have any influence over the way that the rest of us live. Because the last thing I want is for my future sons and grandsons to have to subject themselves to a vasectomy that then the government will never relinquish the right to do.
Fuck no, dude.
And then the government has the authority to decide how and when and if that ever gets reversed. We're just like how in the world do any of you think that a government who has lied to us, we've established this for clarity's sake, we've established this beyond establishing it. The government has lied to us about everything for decades and decades and decades. And especially the last 4 years, we've had a huge run-in with big pharma and the medical community. And yet you want to subject your sons to this bullshit instead of teaching them independent personal sovereignty and responsibility and make the family great again? The fuck is wrong with everyone? This is not going to work any better than gun control works.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Here's some good news out of Illinois. I think it's a run between Illinois or California, who's the worst state. White County, Illinois. An Illinois judge has ruled that the state's firearms owner's identification card, a FOID card, law is unconstitutional when used against somebody who owns a gun in their home. According to Center Square, the case stems from a 2017 case in Illinois versus Vivian Brown. And here you go. Here's why police are not your friends. I say this all the time. In which Brown's husband filed a complaint against his wife after their separation, claiming she had a .22 caliber rifle in their home and she had fired it. Okay, what's the crime? I don't know what the crime is. Police said the rifle had not been fired, but she was charged with possession of a firearm without a FOID card. Again, communist fucking Illinois. No crime was committed. Illinois came in and they still charged somebody for a crime that is a violation of the constitutional right. It blows me away. But authorities said Brown had no prior criminal record. That's your police, right? God forbid your police just look and go, hey, go get a FOID card. We didn't see this. And we're going to walk away. White County resident circuit Judge T. Scott Webb found that Brown was exercising her right to self-defense. Quote, after analyzing all the evidence in this matter, the court finds that the defendant's activity of possessing a firearm within the confines of her home is an act protected by the Second Amendment. The court, this is Illinois. The court finds that any fee associated with exercising the core fundamental constitution rights of the Second Amendment within the confines of one home violates the Second Amendment. So there's I think a 14th Amendment violation too, excessive fines. So that's Illinois.
Yeah.
That's going to be a game changer. I hope that lasts. But it shows your police are not your fucking friends at all. What scumbags do that? Don't spill your seed if you're a dude and own a gun. I don't fucking got anything, dude. I'm fucking so done. It's Friday. What should people
Like, how can we even be having the Ohio? I'm still stuck on this Ohio brat. What part of the recent transition that this country has been going through does she think she's speaking to by asking for more government overreach?
The problem is, it's a waste of time. It's a joke. She's doing it on purpose as a joke. I have to wonder, do taxpayers pay for that? Like, literally, if you knew there was a cop, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something parallel, that he's on duty, he gets paid tax dollars, but he's making TikTok videos in his squad car on your dime, would you be pissed?
Well, yeah, cops do that all the time.
All the time.
Especially women. But I'm more pissed. Like, let's have a piss priority here. Like, I'm more pissed at other things going on in our country that our tax dollars are going towards that have been hidden from us. I think that whole thing with cops and social media got started by, it kind of seemed to get started by this guy. I can't remember his name right now, but he was, I think, a Chicago cop. He was either like a Chicago cop or Philadelphia or like LA, California, one of these areas that's there's a lot of tension between the communities and the cops, right? And it was all about humanizing the badge.
Well, that was Mike the cop. The big ones that started at first were Mike the cop, Officer Daniels, myself, Tommy Norman, and Brian Woodward.
It's like a younger white guy that grew up with a bunch of black kids.
Oh, that's Tommy Norman.
That's Tommy? Okay.
Tommy Norman. That's from Alabama. Arkansas or Alabama.
Okay. So, like, he was part of that movement, and it's gotten out of hand because it's no longer really about humanizing the badge or showing community outreach like what he was doing. It's about doing fucking TikTok trends in your uniform. And when the women do it, it's always with an edge of sexualizing the uniform. And it's just disgusting. So if you're going to allow it at all, there should be really hard and fast rules as to why it's being done.
We had them back in 2015 when we all started that. Next thing you knew, we had policies that were created. Nothing on duty, never in your uniform. My policy actually had, you can't even wear a t-shirt that just has the word police on there unless you get approval by the chief. I was in a documentary for the BBC, and I had to jump through hoops to wear uniform on the documentary. And the chief is like, no, you can't wear a uniform. I'm like, you realize the whole point is for them to interview a cop, right? Whatever. Tommy Norman, who is probably one of the greatest human beings on the planet, that's what he did. His shtick was he went into black culture, black communities in uniform and showed the community. And his department, you can no longer do this in uniform. It's like, what? But we have these cops. There's a former Chicago female cop, and she's in Florida now. Enjoy her. And her whole persona is this officer online who she's all about female empowerment, this and that. And she spends so much fucking time on TikTok. Other CPD people who knew her told me she was barely on the road. She was recovering from plastic surgeries, nose jobs, shit like that, all the time inside. And she leveraged, and I think this is a scumbag and a half movement. Officer Ella French, I've never met, no idea. I didn't know who she was killed. She was shot and killed on duty. Now, this officer, her name is Haley. Haley wasn't with her the day that she died. Somebody else was, but I've said this publicly. Do you ever think, because one of her whole YouTubes is, or her social media videos is, a giant bunch of videos and pictures of French and Haley together. And I'm like, do you ever think if maybe you two little girls weren't so obsessed with fucking posting shit online that maybe, I don't know, your partner would have been shot and killed? It's a fucking joke to you? So yeah, they're all children on the street, and this is something I talk about all the time. You can actually go to coptalklive.org. I should promote this more. Yeah. Coptalklive.org. Let me pull it up really fast right here. Are you somebody who loves law enforcement videos and content and just stories and whatnot? Then check out coptalklive.org. This is the website. Changing Cop Culture. We have stories, news articles, videos, commentary, reviews, and more. coptalklive.org. Make sure when you actually jump on the page that you put in your email address so you can get notified of new articles, new video commentary, police critiques, interviews, podcasts, and more. coptalklive.org. I want to show you this picture because I had to suffer through it. And you have to too. Because it's Valentine's Day. Waiting for your reaction. That's it? I thought you'd be... Oh! 32
when
years...
did we post this? Oh, God,
Yeah,
this is today.
32 years together, and you still take my breath away. Happy Valentine's Day from Barack Obama to Michelle Obama. Now, I get... If we really talk about things, I think men age better than women. And I think that lighting has a lot to do with stuff. I really do.
Well,
you ever see the movie?
Men definitely age better than men who are trying to be women.
There you go. You ever see Legend, Ridley Scott film? She looks like fucking Meg Mucklebones. Oh my God. There were times though. There were times this tranny actually looked really good. Lighting. Probably contouring. This is so unflattering.
He's done this multiple times. Have you noticed recently? He's been posting photos that people online with Michelle, he's been posting photos like at dinner, at a table with dinner. This one, she's been very much out of the limelight and causing a lot of.
Well, she didn't show up to the inauguration.
Oh, yeah, like that one. And people are saying like, dude, did she approve this photo? Because like my wife doesn't let me post anything unflattering. She definitely didn't approve this photo.
I want to see if she posted anything.
One of the worst photos I've ever seen of her.
Happy birthday, love of
And now
my
there's
life.
another one for Valentine's Day. Like, it's just kind of strange.
There's one person I can always count on you. It's Barack Obama. You're my rock. Always have been. Yeah, they're trying to quash these divorce rumors.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's just. You know those kids aren't theirs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the pictures of the real parents?
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Look at this thing.
Well, we've never been able.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing our black thing. Hey. This she got fucking flavor on it. Look at all the white people who are dancing out of rhythm in this. You know she's walking past this fucking maraca chamba line of white people going, no.
What is?
I don't know what this is.
Where is she?
Don't know.
What is
Look
she
at all the
doing?
white people. Oh my God. And she's like cringing. This is a big, look how big this broad is. Look how tall this thing is.
Okay, I'm 6 feet tall. That's not the problem. The problem is she has male markers everywhere that nobody wants to talk about because they don't know anything about it. They haven't learned it.
Well, one
This
of the
is
things is
all
his
over
shoulder.
Hollywood,
Okay.
all over leadership in every country. Transgenderism goes way, 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 way.
You see
way
Macron,
back.
you see Macron's wife, right?
Correct. And if you don't know, Candace Owens is doing an entire expose. The Macrons have contacted her personally trying to sue her for defamation, yet she has so much proof and so many dots connected. All she is asking questions.
Okay.
Look how freaking airbrushed that thing
Yeah,
is.
it's not just airbrushed. This is something that maybe you can speak on. Number one, some of the tells that are very indicative. People want to go the shoulders, right? Well, she's got wide shoulders. Well, so does Venus and Serena Williams, and I don't think
So do I. That doesn't necessarily mean it. You have to
Here
look at
is
the
a
whole thing.
tell. Women's humerus are longer than men's. Look how short in comparison to the rest of her arm is. Her humerus bone is. That's more indicative of a women. Like if you're from the space, the distance between your shoulder and your elbow is longer than your husband's in relativity. Look how short this is. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yep.
See? Here it is. It's just, this is,
that's just one of the markers. There's, that's a whole rabbit hole, everybody. They can do a lot with plastic surgery now that they couldn't do 50 years ago.
God.
But even 50 years ago, there were transgenders hidden in plain sight.
These aren't their kids. These are not their fucking kids. I don't say, who do they look like? They don't look like either of them. So then we go to this, we go, Michelle. Let's see.
I hope Candace does an expose on Michelle Obama next, now that she's almost done, or maybe she's done. There's one that dropped. There's an episode that dropped yesterday. I haven't watched yet about Brigitte Macron.
For the love of God, here's the grandparents too. So this is Michelle Obama's parents, and they look exactly. I mean, you could tell she comes exactly from, where's their picture? I just had it. They're right here. That 100%. It looks like both of them. Looks like both of them. So we're led to believe this is little baby Michelle. Whatever. Okay. So I know, like my nieces, very, very, like you could see, and it's not too forced. The day my first niece was born, I snapped a photo from a profile. Took like 100 photos in the delivery room that day. Of course, after my sister was all rested up and shit. And we found a photo that Mina looked, holy shit, was my grandmother. It was insane. Yeah. The second one was born. I snapped a bunch of pictures. We didn't even know the pictures. We looked at Roll and we went, oh my God, this one looks just like mom. So you have that, right? Here's the alleged real parents of these girls, and they're friends of the Obamas. They look just fucking like them.
Exactly like them.
They don't look like anything from the Obama. And Obama's mother's white, for the love of God. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah, April, no one's ever seen a picture of Michelle pregnant.
No, this is the closest you're going to get to photos of them when they were younger. That's it.
Yeah.
They look nothing like... Dude, his features alone have so much whiteness in them that they would pass them on. And these girls, no, dude. No, their mouths are not even remotely similar. No. Her mouth is just like this guy's.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
It's very obvious, but again,
well, you can't say anything. You can't do anything. It is what it is.
Well, we can say it all we want on Spreely Media, but it's not gonna fix anything. He's already been president twice. She's already been the first lady twice. And that's like what I didn't say about the JFK files is like, okay, let's just say tomorrow everything drops and it's unredacted, and we find out that the craziest conspiracy theory about it turns out to be 120% true, just like everything else we're batting 1,000 on lately. Who's still alive to have any accountability?
Nobody.
Held?
Dude, nobody. They just convicted Michael Madigan. No, nobody's. They're going to bring in the fucking doctors and the autopsy. They got to be all dead. Michael Madigan, the longest Speaker of the House in the state, Illinois. I think he was like 36 years. Right? Illinois is just, we have Dick Durbin still been in office 36 fucking years, whatever. Yeah. Right? And he's the one who puts the block on the Epstein list shit, right? Flight logs. Michael Madigan, the nucleus of corruption in the state of Illinois for decades, was just convicted on some crimes. He's 82. What does it matter?
Yeah.
82. What's the matter? Nothing's, okay, great. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see if this is either word. I just got this. Somebody says, I hope this goes viral. And this is being shared like crazy. I don't know what this is. It's got no caption on it. It's just a man and a microphone. I'm going to play it.
Elon Musk does have a security clearance. He has a top secret security clearance. By God, he makes the rockets for NASA. But the suggestion that he somehow can't be trusted to dig into how we're spending our money is nothing but a smokescreen to hide the corruption and the wasteful spending that has occurred there. And I am personally offended at the left's continued references to 19-year-olds and 21-year-olds in there doing work.
Big balls.
Yeah.
There are 19-year-olds who have won the Medal of Honor defending this country. Just because you're...
Oh, shut up. I know your fucking pompous soundbite crap is supposed to go. I don't trust any of this shit either. I think it's all just a stupid excuse for what are they... The outrage. It's selective outrage. Here, oh, look, we see that the government spent... Like, they'll expose whatever her name is. Pocahontas. You made $20 million. Yeah, and you're because it's what's the saying? The hit dogs holler louder. The hit dog hollers or something like that. It's like the ones who are just yelling the loudest. They're the most guilty about shit. But we know they're going to be distracting us from something else. I mean, what is it? It's like you get people outraged for what? None of this makes any sense to me.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. I'm not sure what the play here is in Doge going into USAID, going into the Pentagon, going into the Department of Education, going into the IRS. I don't really understand what the play could possibly be if it's not exposure.
Do you ever notice though? What was Elon Musk's? It was like a year or two ago. God brought up. What was his Bitcoin called?
Doge.
Irony.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out half-heartedly because how much are we really supposed to know about some of this stuff?
I don't know.
I'm still trying to figure out like what is being accomplished for the quote unquote cabal agenda, the evil black pill agenda. What is being accomplished for them by this exposure and getting people angry and making change in government to move away from the bureaucratic state that we've all been living under without consent and unknowingly and towards What are we doing? Are we going towards a Christian nationalist state? What are we doing?
What if the answer's obvious? What if the answer's obvious? All of us want to talk. You remember how nobody's talking about that 5G anymore? No one's talking about that, right? What if it's not energy omission or omission, whatever, emissions? What if it's energy collecting? What if all this fucking time we've been worried about the frequency and vibration of the poisonous food and whatever the RF radio frequencies your phones are giving off, 5G, the vaccine vase, all this stuff. What if this entire time that they have just been gaslighting us into sensory overload so that we, because we're in the Matrix, right? And they want to put our bodies in the power plants. What if they're fucking harvesting our negative energy all this fucking time and nobody even knows about it? We're all just waiting for that other shoe to drop nonstop. You are on a perpetual pinhead of issue on top of issue on top of issue. Cortisol level spikes, stressing. You are emitting all the time, probably incredible frequencies that what if they're just harnessing it? What if they're not putting shit out? They're sucking this motherfucking shit up and they love it. What if that's the issue?
That's what war is. War is a huge energy harvesting loosh agenda.
You use that word a lot lately. It's good. It's a good word.
It's their technology. It's real. So yeah, I don't disagree with that. That's not their end game. Their end game isn't to just, like the Death Eaters in Harry Potter.
Ooh.
suck out the energy.
Have you seen? Wait, hang on. Have you seen the Harry Potter movies?
Like a bazillion times. Like legit, you don't understand. I fell asleep watching the Harry Potter movies for years.
How good are they?
Yeah.
The last two. Oh my God.
They're so
Fucking
much
incredible.
There's so
You know
much
who I'm
there.
talking to right now. You know what I'm telling you. Harry Potter Marathon. We're fucking doing it. You're sitting down and watching it.
There's so much there, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not like, so like, I don't believe that the end goal is energy consumption. That's not the end all be all. That's a stepping stone to their accomplishing another agenda. And I just don't really, I can't see yet what the other agenda on the other side of this, maybe it's a looshing harvest that they're doing with all this energy, getting the MAGA people super amped up and excited and validated. Maybe. Doesn't really seem to align with the type of energy that they've liked to harvest over the decades that I've noticed a pattern with, but maybe it is. But what is it accomplishing? Because like I said, the Death Eater style of sucking out energy from people, that's not the end all be all. It needs to accomplish something, and I'm not really sure what they're trying to accomplish. If it is indeed part of the evil cabal plan, like this is some controlled opposition movement, right? I don't really get what they're doing if that's the case.
I don't do.
It makes more sense for it to be the opposition to the cabal going at this strategically and having awareness gathered
they're
and
just
expanded.
the best part about it, and I don't think any of us will live long enough to see it. There's going to be a point where they just eat their own because they're going to run out of everything else. And
they already are.
I know. It's just, I mean, on a level, I want to see. I will not be happy in my lifetime unless I see like European or like Indian parliament type of stuff where you get somebody, they've had enough. They pick up a fucking chair and they throw it across the room and break it over somebody's goddamn head. Show me that. Show me that. And I will be like, we have achieved equality in America. I want to see one of these motherfuckers lose their mind.
We need some tables flipped.
I don't care what the end result is. I just want to see them go after each other. Because behind the scenes they're all friends. That's the problem I have. They're all snakes. All snakes. Do you have any, because it is Valentine's Day, and people are going to gorge themselves with chocolates and whatnot. Do you have any advice for people who want to partake in the celestial deliciousness of the treats for today and still not feel guilty about it?
Just eat like you like yourself and not like you hate yourself.
Oh.
It's very simple. People want to make this super complicated. It's not that you can't have chocolate. It's just don't eat 40 pounds of it. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb and eat 40 pounds of it and then wake up tomorrow and expect yourself to not feel like a shamed piece of shit.
Oh my God.
When you acted like a shameful piece of shit for eating 40 pounds of chocolate. Like, have a nice glass of wine, have a little piece of chocolate cake or a couple pieces of chocolate that your man buys you. Enjoy your red flowers, have some great sex, give a nice blowjob, enjoy your night. But don't be an asshole about it and then expect to wake up tomorrow and not feel like you were an asshole about it. That's the problem, is people set these expectations for themselves and then they expect to escape the consequences of not meeting those expectations.
I totally had, I forgot to save it, and I commented and then I deleted it. I think it was an IFBB Pro female, nearly 500,000 followers on her Instagram account, posted a video, and it's just a side view of her picking at her calluses and shaking, and somebody yelling in the background. And she goes off in this whole big fucking diatribe about it started with the yelling and then her domestic battery abuse and this and that shit. And I typed up on there, must be nice to just, Or everyone was saying how brave she is. And I go, yes, you're so brave for just taking one side of the story and putting it up online and vilifying somebody who now everyone's going to fucking hate because you have 500,000 followers. So I have to wonder how many women are going to be like that with Valentine's Day. We're going to be like, for Valentine's Day, I bought myself some flowers and candies and I'm going to treat myself because no one loves me like Valentine. Or this is even worse. The women who they fucking worship their children on Valentine's Day, and like their husband's like, hey, do you remember me?
Yeah.
I had something to do with that, you know?
Right.
Fucking stupid.
Agreed.
Women ruin everything. Speaking of women,
so my advice for you gals today on Valentine's Day, and gentlemen too, is just, if you celebrate it, personal decision. If you celebrate it, don't feel like you have to celebrate it just because everyone else is doing it, number one. But if you celebrate it of your own personal sovereignty, just don't treat yourself like you hate yourself. That's what it all boils down to. If you treat your body like the temple that it is, and you eat and drink accordingly, and you act accordingly, you won't feel like a shameful piece of shit tomorrow that you need to pay penance for. There's not that many rules. Like, people want me to give them all these rules. And it's like, actually, it really boils down to how you see yourself and how you treat yourself. Food and fitness and all that kind of stuff, relationships, is just an extension of your identity. And people are having an identity crisis, so they try to shove it all down with
hard
chocolate.
To be focused when you're confused. And how the hell can you, your identity crisis is all over the place when you're online looking and comparing yourself to everybody else. I think there may be a solution for that, though. Hang on. I truly think that flexyourfeminine.com might have something to do with that. Could you talk about how that could do that a little bit, too, as we look at the flexyourfeminine.com website?
Yeah, I mean, Flex Your Feminine is a counter mainstream option for the ladies that have been, maybe you've been burned by the fitness industry before. Maybe you've tried, every diet out there, right? And you just can't seem to get results, or you get results and then you yo-yo back, and it's this constant cycle. And I just would like to tell you that there's nothing wrong with you. That's exactly the way the system was designed. It's operating quite well to keep you on the hamster wheel of feeling like a failure, not understanding your own biology, and constantly in their pipeline to pay them for a solution that they had in place before they presented you with a problem to fix. So you are not a problem to fix. We have to get you out of that matrix and allow you to take back the truth of who you are and how you were created at a biological level, and align your fitness and nutrition with that. And it then becomes really easy and really enjoyable and natural for you.
Flexyourfeminine.com brought you today's show. That's how awesome it is. Go check it out. Kids, that's your Friday. That's your Valentine's Day. Have a great Valentine's Day. Happy birthday. If you got a birthday today, you know who you are, you dirty, dirty, dirty girl. Not dirty. You're awesome. Other than that, I mean, have a great Valentine's Day. Get a heart-shaped pizza. I don't fucking care. Even though now I'm in a mood for Little Caesars like there's no tomorrow, and I can't understand. I've been talking about it all week, and it's horribly awesome pizza. It was my first job ever. Thanks for calling Little Caesars Hoffman Estates. This is Dominic. Would you like to try a large picnic special for only $10.98? God, that was 1992. 91.
Do they do heart pizzas on Valentine's Day?
No, we didn't. Yeah. What's a picnic special? Well, you get 2 large pizzas, a topping on each pizza, 2 orders of 2 drinks, and 1 order of Crazy Bread for only $10.98. Fucking, I said that on the phones like crazy. It was amazing. Yeah. Flexyourfeminine.com. Check it out. It's very simple. Flexyourfeminine.com. Check it out. Share the show. Guys, click a link. Just go and share it, text it to somebody, email it to somebody, turn it on in your office and blast the volume full up where somebody's like, why is this guy always obsessed with racial issues and Jews and shitting on women and stuff? At me? He's so angry. Well, that's the point. It's the rants of Izzo. Fuck, stupid fucks. Have an awesome weekend. Go help somebody today. And if you can't help them, just don't hurt them. And if you're single, count your blessings. It's probably awesome. It is what it is. I am not. Going to have some fun later. Guys, have an awesome damn day. Go have fun. Bye.